Welcome to my latest game of Warhammer 40k. It's Thousand Suns versus Necrons, and we're going to be playing Murder Ball. First up, absolutely gorgeous table was set up for you from urbanmats.com, and all the scenery, all this extra stuff that I've thrown down on the table, including the statues and things, is all from marchofwar.co.uk. And we shoved down 6 objectives on the table. The way Murder Ball works is, if you control an objective at the end of your turn, you roll a d3. So for example, if you roll a 5, you'll get 3 points, but the objective will blow up 3 inches and do 3 mortal wounds to everything within that. And then 1, that's 1 point, 1 inch explosion, 1 mortal wound to everything around. You roll for the objectives that you control at the end of your turn. They're mined, there's claymores everywhere, they're going to explode. There's murder in the bowl in the murder. And we welcome back to the channel, Winter Wizard. Say hi, Winter Wizard.
Hi, Winter Wizard.
You have a helper with you this time, VC Firefly. Say hi, VC Firefly.
Hi, VC Firefly.
So you have a helper with you.
Yes.
Because things have changed.
Yes, I might look a little bit different, but it's still me. I'm still here. Lots of things happened. I got stuck in the warp. I transcended to Demon Hunt, and sadly, or rather disappointingly, I got motor neuron disease, which makes the physical aspects of wargaming a little bit challenging. So every magician needs a glamorous assistant. But I will have to make do with a Firefly.
I was about to say, yeah, where's your glamorous assistant?
Yeah, so I brought a very gracious friend who's here just to help me with rolling dice, basically.
It's interesting because you've got motor neuron disease, but you're still collecting, still painting.
Yes, sir.
You said painting's a bit tricky right now.
Building is really hard. I have lots of friends who will help me with that. I can still paint. It's a little frustrating.
But there's no way you're going to leave the hobby, is it?
No, sir.
Unless they drag you screaming into the warp.
Exactly.
Up against the Wizard today, this is 1990 points of Necrons, and I'm playing Awakened Dynasty. I hadn't done the Necrons for a while, and I definitely hadn't done Awakened Dynasty for a while. That's the Horde, that's the generic thing. This is going to be good. This is the one where you get +1 to hit whenever a character leads a unit. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters leading 6 units. This is also what I call my OCD army, because I've got 2 of everything. 2 of these guys, 2 of these guys, 2 of everything. Necrons, when they get knocked down, they get up again. They've also got that +1 to hit when someone's leading a unit. That's the Awakened Dynasty thing. Today we'll be swarming across the battle grid, trying to win this game of Murder Ball. Starting off over here, 2 Lockhurst Destroyer Lords with 2 units of Lockhurst Destroyers. So their critical hits go off on 5s instead of 6s. And all the Gauss weaponry, because it doesn't look like I've got much anti-tank here, but all the Gauss weaponry, basically on 6s to hit, auto wounds, counts as lethal hits. And with Destroyer Lords in it, on 5s to hit, count as lethal hits. So they can be fairly anti-tank as well, at strength 5, -2 to damage. And there's a Resurrection Orb in each of those squads. Then we've got 2 units of 20 warriors with a Chronomancer in each, which makes them very resilient. Chronomancers have move, shoot, move, and also Chronomancers in units means they are -1 to hit. And I've given this guy over here Veil of Darkness, so he has the opportunity to teleport somewhere at some point. Then we've got 2 Plasmancers with 2 units of Immortals. That gives them crits on 5s as well. And the Immortals have bonuses to wound. 2 individual heavy destroyers with the big flat 6 guns, 2 units of Scarabs zipping around all over the place, 2 units of 6s, and 2 Annihilation barges just to be annoying. They're quite cheap, and they throw down quite a bit of firepower. They've got a 4-up invulnerable save as well, so they can hang around for a while. And honestly, they're in the list because they're the last thing I painted last Christmas. The last thing I added to my Necron force. So we have got a swarm making our way across the battle grid. We have got repositioning stuff with the Veil of Darkness. And there's a lot of critical all over the place. And finally, I need to shout out marchofwar.co.uk again, because all these lovely resin bases are by him. Thank you, James. Now, this 2,000 points Thousand Suns army really puts my Necrons to shame. And of course, you can check it out on Winter Wizard on the YouTube. Obviously, Mr. Wizard hasn't been posting as much as he was in the past, but I do like your videos on your army summary, showing off all the lore and all the reasons why you've done the things. And there is some significant lore behind this one. Tell us the lore.
So this is the Exalted Court of Spring.
Nice.
So it's basically a little pocket of chaos fueled by the archdemon of Spring, who is a child of Zeech.
Nice.
Daughter of Zeech. So the Court of Spring, 9 sorcerers following Spring, and obviously they have their own branch of demons, their own branch of chaos goodness.
So loads of Sylvaneth conversions mixed up with the Thousand Suns here.
That's right.
Beautiful stuff. Now, Thousand Suns, it's all about your psychic weapons, which can either be lethal, devastating, or something or other.
Or sustained, that's
or
right.
Or sustained. And you said...
can change that throughout the battle.
Yes.
At the start of every battle round. But today, just assume that I'm always going to choose sustained hits. Because you've got a lot of bodies to chew through.
Yes.
A lot of the psychic spells already have devastating wounds.
Okay.
Which I feel like could be a default choice. But today, I think sustained hits is the way to go.
Okay, and you also have a psychic phase, which you spend Cabal points on.
That's right.
And there's like a maximum of 8 Cabal points in this stuff, but there's ways to get more.
There is, yeah. So each of the aspiring sorcerers in the starting squads will generate them, and the characters as well. But then, yeah, there are more tricks.
Okay, so we've got some Thousand Suns with Flamers.
That's right. 10 Rubiks with the Water Flamers, Icon of Flame in there, Aspiring Sorcerer. We got 2 units of Scarab Occult Terminators.
Yes.
Aspiring Sorcerer. There is a Soul Reaper Cannon with a Hellfire Missile rank in each.
Okay.
So that guy at the back there, I'm still actually working on some of the names for the characters, but they'll probably have a bit of a Japanese inspiration to them.
Cool.
But for the moment, that guy with the wings and the skirt of vines, I'm calling him the Vine Shrike.
Right.
He's an exalted sorcerer on a disc of Zeech. So in this army, if you see wings...
They're discs.
They're discs.
Nice.
With the exception of the demon prince. Wings means discs.
Nice. So he's joining your Thousand Suns Rubikai.
That's right. He gives them a 4-up invuln. And he also has I think it's once per round where he can reach out, tickle you, and make your movement reduced by half.
Oh, that's going to be nasty.
So we can slow you down.
Okay.
He's also taking the Umbrellific Crystal Enhancement.
Right.
Which is akin to your Veil of Darkness.
Okay.
So jump off the board, come back with 10 Flamers and cook something.
That could be nasty.
Yes,
so these guys and these guys are the Zangors. Zangors with wings.
That's right.
Zangors on foot.
They'll be their own branch of demons in Spring. I call them saplings, but for the purpose of the game, they're essentially Zangors. So the ones with the ethereal bodies are the Zangors. So the flappy ones, they're the ones on the discs with the thick cast, a great bow.
Yeah.
And they'll be joined by the Zangar Shaman on the far right at the back there. It's going to give them a 5-up, feel no pain.
Nice.
And +1 to hit with their precision bows and arrows.
Precision bows, that would be good for sniping out some of my characters.
Yeah, actually very useful today.
Okay.
The ones without the ethereal bodies, they're basically mere mortals who have been taken, twisted by the powers of Spring, turned into these walking parodies of tree people. These are cultists.
Just cultists. Hellbrutes / tree brutes.
Tree brutes, that's right. They can generate me Cabal points if they're near the sorcerers when they try and do their tricks. But other than that, pretty basic. Hellbrute, Tree Brute Fist, and a multi-mount.
Okay. And then a Forge Fiend or a Tree Fiend? What do you call this?
Forest Fiend.
Forest Fiend.
Forest Fiend. With the triple ectoplasma for a bit of suppressive fire.
Okay. And then Demon Prince with wings?
Demon Prince with wings. She can, if you advance with her, she can jump off the table and come back in your next reinforcement step. So
Okay.
she'll be zipping about the place. I've given her an enhancement as well, which is Arcane Vortex. So it's going to make her psychic weapons, i.e. the sword, extra strength and extra damage.
Okay.
So +1 strength and damage. So on the chop, it's going to be strength 9, damage 4.
Or you do the sweet version and
Which
that
is
becomes a damage
strength
2 thing.
Something damage 2.
Nice, I like it. And then, who are these massive 3 people here?
So at the back we've got 2 what I call warp ents.
Warp ents.
Warp ents. But which basically use the data sheet of a vortex beast.
Okay.
So they got their staffs for their magic powers. They got their tentacles. They got their feet and for stomping. They're really, really tough.
Mm-hmm.
They spray out mortal wounds when you get too close. They're I love them.
Yeah, I think they're probably the best thing in the Thousand Suns Codex right
They
now.
are really good.
Yeah, the Mutilith Vortex. So 2 Mutilith Vortex beasts with a Forge Fiend, which is quite a bit of Dakka.
Yes.
The Tree Brutes, helping give Cabal points, and they're no joke in their own right. The Demon Prince, no joke in its own right. And then quite a bit of infantry as well, to spread out and score as many points in this murder ball. I feel like sometimes it's important to remember that Warhammer 40k is ridiculous and fun, and that's why we like Murder Bowl, because it's ridiculous and fun. All about getting these objectives which blow up in your face when you get them. The Necrons, the Shattered Dynasty, are deployed all the way across the line. Haven't put anything in reserve. There's a gimme objective on both table edges, one here, one down there. But yeah, I've deployed all the way across the line, keeping some units behind out of cover. And then round here, the Thousand Suns, we have the Mutilith Vortex Ent and some Sylvaneth. There's a really strong push in the middle here, Winter Wizard.
Yes.
That's a lot of stuff.
Go deep down the middle.
Deep down the middle. There's a home field objective somewhere under there. Terminators are under it. The other unit of Terminators are still in the warp. They're going to manifest out. Hellbrute, Forge Fiend, Ent number 2. Plague Marines down in this cover over here. And all the way...
Excuse me?
Plague, well, you play Death Guard as well.
I know.
And they're green. Thousand Suns. Wrong God.
Rubric
Marines are down in the crater over there. And then behind this lovely scenery set piece is a unit of cultists and the Demon Prince. So the Necrons of the Shattered Dynasty are fighting the fate. The fates in themselves. And Murder Bowl is all about fate. All about these random objectives. What is also fated is who goes first. So after you went to Wizard, let's see if Zinch is on your side today. And you've rolled a 3, and I've rolled a 1. Zinch is on your side today. It's Thousand Suns turn 1. At the end of the movement phase down this side of the battle grid, the Demon Prince has jumped back into the warp, and here's the cultists running along this side, and they're the Zangors. Zangors. The Thousand Suns, not Plague Marines, are staying back there for now. But in the middle, in the street, everything is chonking down the centre of the table. 2 Tree Brutes, the Forge Fiend, the Terminators, the Mutilith Vortex Beast on that side. Zangors jumping around on this side. Some cultists staying back behind that ruin as well. This does put the Thousand Suns on 3 objectives, which you score at the very end of the turn. Then using the Kabbalistic focus Temporal Surge, the Thousand Suns Terminators move again.
Cost 5 Cabal points, but we generated 2 more from the Hellbrute.
So it only costs 3. And what are they opening fire on? The Warriors, the Wraiths?
Scarabs are going to open fire on the Warriors straight down the road. A shot.
Forced to hit. Winning on 4s as well. Only 4 5-up saves. It takes out 4 of them. Now the Soul Reaper Cannon. This hits on 4s.
Yep, because of the Chronomancer.
3 hits, wounding on 3s, 3 wounds.
That 6 is devastating.
Devastating. So 1 devastating kills 1, and then I finally make a save. You kill 2 more. Then 1 more wound came through with a missile launcher, and I failed that save as well. So 7 warriors have been wiped out already. Then the beast, the Mutilith Vortex Beast, is firing his warp blast thingy bob. Number of shots. That's a 6, plus 5 because of blast. Forced to hit. Drop both and count. Worth pointing out, the single snowflake is a 1. Keep it frosty on the other side. That's the 6 on these dice. 6 hits came through. This is 2s to wound. AP2, so 6 up saves. 5 of them getting nuked. Coming from one beast across to another beast, rinsing and repeating, this time hitting the immortals up top. D6 plus 3, plus 2 for blast. This time hitting on 3s, no chronomancer here. Tougher than warriors though, so wounding on 3s. 4 up saves. I lose 2 of the immortals. Over the head of the beasts, the Zangor Enlightened are firing their Fatecaster great bows at the same target. Yeah. Would hit on 4s, but with the shaman, you're hitting on 3s.
Hit on 3s.
And these are lethal and precision. We have 3 lethals, 4 more hits, and these are wound on 4s.
Yes, strength 5.
6 come through, they're all precision. You're putting them all on the Plasmancer. AP minus 1, but ruin, so 4 up saves. He takes 3 wounds, he's on 1 remaining. He sniped him out in turn 1. So the immortals have taken a pounding, the warriors have been taking a pounding. Next to the warriors, this annihilation barge now is getting lit up by the Forge Fiend.
83 shots.
Yes.
Looking at 2, 4, 6.
3s to hit. That was 3 hits. You're winning on 3s as well. And that is 2 wounds. 2 4+ invulnerable saves. I take 3 wounds. And with that opening fusillade, that's the shots of the Thousand Suns fall silent as they rearm and reload. And try and undo a couple of claymores on these objectives here and score their first few points. So we're rolling for the middle, first of all. Let's see how big the explosion is, how many points you get.
Okay.
Just 1d3. That is 1 point. It'll do a mortal wound to the tree person.
Yes.
Fine.
That's 5, feel no pain.
As a 5 feel no pain. Brilliant. And you make the feel no pain. Okay. So expert demolition. Managed to undo the tripwires. Then over here. That'll cost you 2 points and 2 mortal wounds. Do they have any feel no pains?
They do not.
2 of them fall over. 3 points so far, coming across to the home field objective. And that's the big 3. So it's going to hit both the Tree Boot and the Forge Fiend, doing 3 mortal wounds to each of them. But on the plus side, you get 3 points. So at the end of turn 1, for the Thousand Suns at 6 points to 0, let's find out how the Necrons respond in their turn 1. And here we are at the end of Necron's movement phase, plus a reanimation, shifting around this way to try and get as many shots into the big tree person, Mutilith Vortex Beast on this flank as possible. Reanimating into the mortals, I put them back up to full strength of 10 of them there. But the Fatecaster bows that hit them were 2 damage a time. So that Plasmancer that I thought was alive, he's definitely dead. But at least they can shoot down at Tree Person, along with Lockhurst Destroyer and some of the Lockhurst Destroyers here. Scarabs going forward. There's cultists behind that ruin. Figured out it's a 7-inch charge. And Scarabs into cultists I'm happy with. Scarabs into Tree Person number 2 not so happy with. But they're Scarabs. They're here to die. So they're flying their way up there. The Annihilation Barge that was injured is also here and is completely repaired. Here's second Annihilation Barge. And if you're wondering where the Chronomancer and all the warriors were that got cut in half, they are now tactically repositioning behind this building here. Ready? I mean, that's the one with the move shoot. That's the one with the Veil of Darkness in. So he could have teleported away last turn, but I want to build up some of the... Well, get some of the Necron warriors back up again in it. Before we start teleporting around all over the place, and then more immortals around this flank here. So the Thousand Suns are on 3 objectives. I'm on 1, 2, 3 objectives as well. And we're going to start shooting at Tree Person down here, or Mutilith Vortex Beast. Firing this barge at it, which is suppressed. So the barge is going to hit on 4s. However, 6s explode twice. Twin Tesla Destructor though, winning on 5s, 3 wounds. 3 4-up saves. Make one of them. That'll be 4 damage. Then on a 5, it does D3 more mortal wounds for 2 more mortal wounds. 6 5-up, feel no pains, and you make 5 of them. Brilliant. He only takes a wound. He is within 3 inches of the cultist though, so on a 5, no, they would have got hit by the lightning as well. So just 1 wound, and the Gauss from it is out of range. Okay, let's move across to the immortals. They are in range. Now, the Immortals are going to hit on 3s. 6s are lethal. It would have been 5s and 6s are lethal, but you sniped out my Plasmancer. So no lethals. And 6s to wound. 3 wounds.
3 5-ups.
You make 2 of them. And the 5-up feel no pain, which you fail. That's another wound, 2 wounds. Right, I've had enough. Let's shoot with the big gun of doom, which hits on a 2 because it stays still. I rolled a 1. Brilliant. How about the normal destroyers then? There's 4 of them that can shoot you. 5s and 6s are lethal. So that's good. I'm re-rolling the 1. That's really good. And then 6s. That's good. This is good. 8, 5 plus invulnerable saves. So 10, 5-up feel no pains.
How's that? Excuse my dodgy rolling.
Well, you're feeling lots of pain.
Bloody
You just tanked another 5, feel no pains. It's only taken 5 in total. It's got 8 left. Zinch is definitely on the side of 1,000 Suns here. All right, I've had enough of that one, mainly because I've got no more guns that can actually see and shoot it. So we'll come down to the central street where 5 of the Lockhurst destroyers can see tree number 2. Surely he can't tank all of these. I'm hitting on 2s because there's someone leading them. And 5s and 6s are lethals. Now, a reroll hit rolls of 1, or you can reroll all hits if in range of objective markers. And because I'm wounding you on 6s, I'm going to reroll all the hits. You're in range of the objective marker. Basically fishing for as many 5s and 6s as I can. So those auto wound, and these are 6s. No, we have 6 wounds. 6 more, 5-up saves. And you make 2 of them.
8 to feel no pains. On 5s.
You feel a bit of pain this time. So this one's down to 8 as well. Same as the other one. Let's chuck the Annihilation Barge in. The Annihilation Barge. 3s to hit. 6s explode twice. These wound on 5s, but they are AP dash. 2 4-up saves. Failing them both. 2 damage a time, so 4 feel no pains. And you fail all of them as well. It's down to 4 wounds remaining. And then on a 5-up, like that, it will suffer another D3 mortal wounds for 2 more. And it feels, yes, 2 more. 2 more, it's down to 2 remaining. Now the underslung Gaussy gun, this is working. 2 of them hit. I need 6s to wound her. I don't wound. So there's on 2 wounds left, perfectly softened up for the charge. Maybe the Scarabs will actually be able to make the charge. Then we come round to this flank where I've got a big gun of doom, plus the Plasmancer and all the Immortals firing into the Zangors here. And when the smoke clears and the dust settles, those Zangors have been wiped from existence. And that is the end of the shooting phase for the Shattered Dynasty. Now we're going to make some charges, try and kill some tree people. The Scarabs need a 4 to get in here. That's just about it. I'm not sure they... I mean, we'll get back to that. Over here, these Scarabs are going to charge through the ruin and try and hit the cultists. They need a 7. That's a failed charge. CP reroll? Yeah, let's CP reroll it. And that's a 10. And at the end of the charge phase, Scarabs blow up. So what happens is I pull that one away. And it self-destructs. I don't want to roll a 1. I don't roll a 1. And on a 2 to 5, that's D3 mortal wounds. It's only got 2 left. And that's 3 mortal wounds, but it does have a feel no pain. Feel no pain. Can it live? Yes, it can live on 1 wound. It's alive. We had another charge. Around here, Scarabs and a charge phase, doing the same thing against all these cultists. I rolled a 6. That's a flat 3 mortal wounds. And then we come back to the centre, because you do have the CP to interrupt, but I'm not too worried about cultists. I mean, who is? So it's all about the Scarabs hitting this tree. And Scarabs, they have 6 attacks each. This is 30 attacks. They're like sandpaper, all over that tree, Mutilith Vortex Beast, like slash thing, hitting on 5s, but 6s are lethal. I got 4 6s and 4 5s. These need 6s as well, strength 2. No, 4 wounds, just 4. But it's on 1 wound left. This is enough. 4-up safe. You don't even need your feel no pain. You make every single save. Now, after the fight with the beast, we came back over here with the Scarabs and the cultists. At the end of it all, there's 5 cultists left, 4 Scarabs left, and 1 of them is on 3 wounds. And now we're going to do the fight back with the beast in the middle of the battle grid. Big tree stomp. Hitting on 4s. Strength 9, toughness 2. You roll 3 ones. You get a command point, one of them. And you kill 2 bases. Brilliant. 100% better. So that fight in the middle is ongoing. Big Tree Person of Doom on 1 wound remaining. This one on 8 wounds. The cultists are locked up over here. In fact, the only successful thing I really did was nuke an entire unit of Zangors. The Terminators are still untouched, and there's still some Terminators in Deep Strike Reserve. Both of the Hell Brutes and the Forge Fiend are untouched. And I am on a chunk of objectives, which are probably going to blow up and really hurt me. Well, they're definitely going to blow up, but let's see how much they blow up. So this one here, D3 points, D3 explosion, D3 mortal wounds for 1. This one back here for 1. And this one over here, that's a yes. So it's 4 points to 6, 4 points to 6 as we go into Thousand Suns turn 2. Math, that's 5 points to 6 as we go into Thousand Suns turn 2. At the end of the movement phase, there's been some manifestations and trickery from the Thousand Suns. First of all, Terminators deep striking in here. These are the ones that were in reserve. Making sure they're 9 inches away from the Scarabs behind the wall and this heavy Lockhouse Destroyer. And the Demon Prince is back. No real good place to put him, so he's lurking at the back of the battle grid right now. Besides, that is also an epic shot from this particular angle over here. Tree Man of Doom, Mutilith Vortex Beast striding forward, Terminator striding forward, Fell Brute striding forward. This Tree Man of Doom staying locked up with the Scarab Occult Terminators for now. For now. Because at the start of the fight phase they do blow up. But Tree Men's have that 5-up shrug, which he can't seem to fail. You also brought the Malefic Crystal, the something crystal.
The Umbralefic Crystal.
That's the one. So the Thousand Suns with all the flamers who were back there, you picked them up at the end of my turn. They've jumped forward over here, taking this objective. And they're all in range with their nasty flamers on the unit of Immortals in this side street down here, while the cultists watch on and applaud them. Because there's going to be lots of flames, and they're made of wood. They don't want to come anywhere near it. So with the Thousand Suns stepping forward and taking 4 of the objectives right now, they only had 2 Cabal points because you accumulate them in the Cabal phase, and there was a lot of stuff off the table when they were accumulating the things. Not spending any of the Cabal points straight away, but we are going on to the shooting phase. And we're starting down here with 10d6 shots. Flamers washing into Immortals. Many dice rolls later, 6 wounds came through at AP -1, so these are 6 4-up saves, and lose 3. And 7 came through at AP -2. These need 5-up saves. And that burned through every single Immortal, even the Plasmancer there, who get hit 4 times by the Warp Flame pistols, and these are 5-up saves, and these are 6-up saves, and he's alive on a wound. And that's it for the shooting phase up here. The Plasmancer unit has been completely wiped out. The Plasmancer on 1 wound, he won't be able to reanimate anyone back into that unit, because that unit's gone. Now we're onto the Terminators that are unloading everything into the Warriors on this flank. The Warp Smite came in, killed 2 of them. Now we're going to do all the proper guns. Soul Reaper Cannon. 4s to hit though, because Chronomancer. 3s to wound. 1 wound, 1 save. Hellfire Missile Rack on 4s, and 1 of those hits. And wounds. It's AP2, but I take my cover. Doesn't help me, another one's dead. And lots of bolters on 3s. 4, sorry.
4s to hit.
3 more wounds come through. Still using the cover. You kill 3 more. Still 13 left with the Chronomancer, so Terminator Squad number 2, rinsing and repeating. And there's 8 left. That's including some fire from the Hell Brutes back there. Only a couple of guns in range, and it was at this point that Winter Wizard remembered he's got some precision fire with Zangor Enlightened, which really want to kill that Chronomancer, so we're going with them. 4s to hit. And wounding on 3s. 4 come through, sticking them on the Chronomancer. He's got a 4-up invulnerable save. So that would kill him. But if because it's 2 damage a time and he's got 4 wounds, so if I CP reroll that, it'll keep him alive. So let's CP reroll that and keep him alive. He's dead. Now he's dead. Now the Treant, Vortex Beast of Doom, is going to fire at the Warriors. Number of shots. Adding 4 to this because of blasting things. 3s to hit. And there's a lot of 1s. And 1 wound. 2 wounds. 6-up saves. Treant kills 2 of them. And at the end of the movement phase, these Treants, Mutilith Vortex Beasts, do an explosion, right?
Yeah.
So they would have exploded and hit the warriors, and would have exploded to hit the scarabs. Rolling a dice for the warrior unit on a 4. That does D3 for just 1. And then on the scarab unit, that's a 6.
D6.
Is it?
Yes.
D6 on the scarab unit for 3. So drops one of the scarab bases all the way down to 1 wound remaining. Then the tree beast, Mutilith Vortex Beast, is going to do his torrent fire straight into them. 2d6, torrent auto hitting. At strength 5, it wounds scarabs on 2s. And that does 4 wounds, utterly killing a 1 base. Then behind the beast, the Forge Fiend fires down the street at the Annihilation Barge one more time. 3d3 shots, which hit all the time. Hit twice actually. Wound on 3s. We have 2 wounds, 2, 4 up and vulnerable saves. And that's a 3 damage again. And that is the end of the shooting phase for the Thousand Suns, and that was painful. Wiping out an entire unit of Immortals. A bunch of Scarabs dying all over the place. This unit of Warriors here, the reason for bringing 2 big units of Warriors with Chronomancers means they're hard to shift. And it was hard to shift, but the Chronomancer's gone, and there's only 5 left. And now they're going to get charged by a tree dude. So Crumpet goes in there, and next to it, the Terminators want to charge the Destroyer. And you need a 9, and that's a 4. Come on, boy. And what's he got? That's an 8, just 1 inch out. Back to the middle. The Hellbrute wants to charge the Scarabs, and that's a 7.
Yep.
One of the Hellbrutes is definitely in there.
Tank shot, maybe.
Yeah, tank shock, because the Scarabs are going to blow up in the fight phase, but tank shock happens in the charge phase.
Yes.
There's 5 wounds in there. You just need to do 5 with your tank shock. If you don't get these 5 mortal wounds, that's a dead tree, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, because these count as 6s. You kill the Scarabs. So, Tree, Mutilith, Vortex, Beast of Doom, dodged a bullet there. There are some Scarabs behind here fighting the Cultists, though. And they blow up one of that and kill 2 Cultists in the explosion. Then we go on to charging units. And it's the big Tree, Mutilith, Vortex, Beast of Doom, fighting 5 warriors. 15 dice with a tentacly Maw. The Maury thing wounds on 3s. 7 come through. 7 4-up saves. 1 warrior is still alive somehow. He'll fight back. And he misses. Meanwhile, in the fight in the ruins between the Scarabs and the Cultists, the Scarabs come out on top. Cultists are all wiped out, but it does give the Thousand Suns a command point, and that is the end of Thousand Suns. Turn 2. And they're pushing the Shattered Legion all the way back, but they're on 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives as well, which are going to blow up in their face. So this objective blows up. How many is that?
That's 3.
That's 3. Well, you get 3 points, even though 3 of your dudes. Actually, they got 2 wounds each, right?
Yeah.
So let me wipe out 1.5 of them.
That's right.
Forge Fiend. It takes 3 mortal wounds. It took 3 mortal wounds last turn, and it takes 3 mortal wounds this turn. And that's 6 points. The Tree Man, who pushed the warriors off the objectives, how many does he get? That's a 2. And he's down to 6 wounds remaining. And then we have the explosion in the middle, which might kill your last Tree Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that is 1 mortal wound. So that'll put a wound on the Hellbrute and a feel no pain on your Tree Man, or he dies. A 5 up. Here we go. He's died. Now the thing is, it's got deadly demise as well. So now you don't want to roll a 6. Otherwise we're going to have a chain reaction. That's not a 6. It doesn't take out the Hellbrute. He just crumples. So even though Tree Man's has gone, you're racking up the points. 15 points in total for the Thousand Suns. And only 5 for the Shattered Dynasty at this point. And I've lost nearly all of my warriors. I can reanimate some of these guys though. I'm going to need to roll big on the reanimation as we go to Necrons, turn 2. Here we are after my movement and reanimation phase. The Scarabs who took out the cultists are going straight for the Terminators because it's the last thing they'd expect. Around here, loads of guns are aiming at the last Mutalith Vortex Beast on 6 wounds. The warrior, the last heroic warrior that was tied up in combat with them, well, their unit has reanimated back up to 4 warriors. Didn't fail a battle shock test. Snuck out of close combat there. Got round behind him. And is going to get me some points. And surely this is enough guns to take down that Mutalith Vortex Beast. Then I've got a problem with Terminators, with 2 Hellbrutes and a Demon Prince back there. Holding down the central street are 2 Annihilation Barges. And then round this side, there's a lot of flamey goodness, which will nuke me if I get anywhere near that objective there in the movement phase. So here's the plan. We shoot at them with destroyers and things. And the Chronomancer's unit can move, shoot, move. Because you overwatch in the movement phase. So if I shoot them in the shooting phase and then move round onto that objective, I'll be on the objective. I'll be back on 3 objectives. It's a desperate plan, but it's all we got. Because the Thousand Suns are applying a lot of pressure right now. And I really need to start driving them back. I'd hope for all the Rubikai to be gone. Don't know what the barges are going to do. And hope for this tree person to be gone as well. So let's start here. So the Immortals are going to plunge fire down. 3s to hit, but I'm looking for 6s. There's a 6. Any more 6s to wound? 4 in total. 4 4-up saves. And you make 1. No pain. And you don't make any of them. He's down to 3 wounds. So he's in a crossfire. I'll shoot the only Annihilation Barge in that can see him. And hit him on 3s. 6s explode twice, so they go back in. And what am I doing actually? This Annihilation Barge, the one on the left, was the one that was suppressed. So those hit, that goes back in. I hit on 4s. This will wound on 5s. Does a wound. 1 4-up save. You make it. But on a 5-up, nope, that would have done D3 extra wounds. And then the Gauss on 4s, that's lethal, and a 6, 2 wounds. 2 5-up saves from the Gauss cannon, and that's a failed save, and 2 feel no pains. And you make both of them. It's supposed to be dead, that way I could put the Locust Destroyers into some of the Terminators. It's still very much alive. Why is it still alive? Do I split fire with the Locust Destroyers? I think what we're going to do is we're going to put 5 of them into the Tree Mans and 1 of them over here into the Terminators. Blue dice hit in Terminators. This is 2s though. Rerolling 1s. And those are the critical hits that I did. So this one wounds the Terminators on a 4 as well. And then these ones into Tree Mans need 6s. So 4 saves into the Mutalith Vortex Beast on 5s, and that is 8 feel no pains. Surely you can't make this number of feel no pains. 1, 2, that's enough, I'd just take him out. He's gone, and then 3 saves on Terminators of 4+, and one of those takes 2 wounds. Really, it shouldn't be this difficult to kill a couple of Mutalith Vortex Beasts, but at least he's gone. Now, big gun of doom. Can see the Hellbrute. Let's fire at the Hellbrute. That's a 1. I miss. Do I command point that? Yes. I hit. This needs to wound on a... I don't wound. No, you re-roll wound rolls of 1 against vehicles. That's why I picked the vehicle. So I can re-roll that one. Okay, I wound. He's got a 5-up cover save and he makes it. I mean, I'm going to have to shoot at him with the Annihilation Barge anyway. You never know. I might get some mortal wounds through. Here's 3s to hit. At least this one isn't nerfed, but it does miss 3 times. Strength 8. It wounds. 1 2-up save. You make the save, but on a 5, like that, it does D3 mortal wounds to the Hellbrute for 1. And on a 5, this will arc to the Terminators, and it does, and does D3 wounds to the Terminators as well. And puts 1 down and 1 wound. Then the Gauss cannon came in, tickled a couple more wounds off it as well. So Hellbrute down to 4, Terminators injured. You see, if I'd have hurt it with the Locust Heavy Destroyer, that would have been a dead Hellbrute. But the Hellbrute is still very much alive. Now we're coming around here to this big unit of doom, shooting at your Plague Marines. I get to re-roll all hits because they're in range of an objective.
Rubric.
Rubric. They're not Plague Marines. They're green, you see. But they're rubric. These Chaos Space Marines are green. They look like Plague Marines. They all look the same to me. What was that?
I said my Death Guard army is painted blue.
Why do you do this? Yeah, some people just want to watch the world burn. Let's re-roll and fish for 5s and 6s. For those sweet, sweet critical hits. So those are lethal. These wound on 3s. That killed 7 of them. Then the Plasmancer fired in, along with his Living Lightning, and the big Gun of Doom on top here missed. But when the dust settles, there's a Sorcerer and the Sorcerer of the Plague Marine. No, Rubikai remaining with the HQ. That's it on that objective. And of course, I moved with the Warriors there to get them onto this objective. I'm on this objective. We're on this objective, and we're not battle shocked. I hoped more Terminators would be dead, so when the Scarabs go charging in, they won't kill all the Scarabs. I mean, this is the only charge of the turn. Will they kill all the Scarabs? Let's find out. Let's charge with Scarabs. We charge, we blow up. That's a flat 3 mortal wounds. One's dead, one's on a wound. Maybe this will work. Looking for 6s, really. 5s to hit, 6s are lethal. And then 6s to wound. No. So that is 6. 2 up saves. Math tells me that injured Terminator dies. The injured Terminator dies. See, I was never that good at maths either. 3 Terminators are left. 1 is a bit poorly. They need to kill away these Scarabs. They fight back. Capeshas strike back on 3s. Everything hits. Wounding on 2s. How much damage did these do?
2.
2 damage a time. So bases of 4 wounds. So that kills a base. That killed. You killed the. That. So those are zeros.
Yeah.
There's still a base alive. But there's still a Sorcerer with his big pointy stick. 4 attacks with a force weapon.
3.
And he hits all the times. 2s to wound. Drop dice don't count. That one's really cocked. Okay. So this is D3 wounds a time.
Yes.
I'm saying there's a chance. If you roll 3, there could be a Scarab left on a wound. There's a chance. No, he's dead. He's definitely dead, even if you roll 1s on the other. He's fine. It was a long shot to try and tie them up for a turn or 2. I guess they will be free to rampage forward and take on some of the stuff over here. But that is the end of the Necrons. Turn 2. I feel like I've made some breathing room for myself. There's still a Demon Prince over here, largely unaffected, and those Hellbrutes are still very much free to go chomping up the table. And I have put myself on a chunk of objectives. So let's roll for them, because it's 15 points to 5. So this one is worth 1 point. This one is worth 3 points and blows up 3 inches and takes 3 off of that one and 3 off of that one. Brilliant. And then this one over here. That one's worth 3 points as well. Leaving only 1 tiny warrior on his own. Wondering where all his buddies are. They got back up a minute ago, but now they fell over again. So it's 12 points to 15 in favour of the Thousand Suns. It's not wise putting 2 units next to an objective in Murder Bowl, but it sure is fun. As we go on to Thousand Suns, not Plague Marines, turn 3. So after the movement phase, D-Prince jumping forward. He's a bit out of position, but he did stop me deep striking back here last turn with Veil of Darkness. And the Flappy Boys, the Enlightened, they've moved forward a bit. Terminators are after their one and only target. The Lockhurst Heavy Destroyer has been utterly useless. And the Terminators, after that Warrior, they're not on that objective yet. But the Hellbrute on 5 wounds is on the central objective. The Hellbrute on 4 wounds is pushing down towards the barges. And then a horror show happened over here. Remember the cultists hiding in that ruin? Well, they tried to run on that objective and OC the warriors off of it, and they failed. So CP re-rolled it, and they failed. They haven't taken that central objective yet. Which leaves the Sorcerer and the last of the Rubikai about to get blown up here. The Hellbrute about to get blown up there, and the Forge Wound who's going to get blown up over there at the end of the Thousand Suns turn. They do have 8 Cabal points, however, and we're going on to the shooting phase. We start over here. You spent 5 of your Cabal points to Temporal Surge instead. So the cultists have finally got onto that objective. with a bit of magic shenanigans. Now we're going on to the shooting phase. The Sorcerer and the last of the Rubikai splitting fire. Some hitting the Plasmancer, some hitting the Warriors. Warp smiting from the Aspiring Sorcerer into Plasmancer first. 2 dice.
3s.
And they both hit. That's a devastating wound. Is it 1 or 2 wounds?
1.
So he takes a wound. He's down to 1 remaining. Still alive. Then Arcane Fire into the Warriors, D6 auto hits. For 4 auto hits. These are going to wound on 3s. And that is only 2 wounds. AP2, put it on the ones in cover. It helps me. One of them dies. Then I'm going to spend a CP on called Protocol of the Get Necrons Back Again.
Protocol of the Undying Legions.
Protocol of the Undying Legions, that's the one. And instead of doing it in my command phase, because there's a character in there, I put D3 plus 1 back in, because they're warriors, I can re-roll that. For 3 more back in. You kill 1, but 3 spring back up again. Still not enough. Do I see the cultists off the objective, however. Then we come over here, where 1 unit of Terminators and 2nd unit of Terminators are firing everything at these Immortals up here in cover. Here's all the bolt of fire combined on 3s. And these are all wound on 5s. Anything?
1.
-1 plus 1, there's a ruin. You take 1 out. Here's both of the Warp Smites together. Only 2 hit, but they are empty inventory 4 up and they don't wound. Here are the Soul Reapers.
3s.
Yes. And these are wound on 3s. 2 devastating come through, 5 others. -1 plus 1 for the ruin. So 3 up save. At least 3 in total.
Very good. 3s.
With the missiles. They all hit.
Oh.
And they wound on 2s. And I'm going to need 4s against that. And I fail every single save. And after the Terminator crossfire, there are just 2 Immortals left standing. So, moving along, we've got the Hellbrutes going down the middle of the street. Their small arms are going to try and come in and hurt the Immortals that are down to 2 remaining. Multi-Melters going into Annihilation Barge, however. Here are the Multi-Melters. Both of them hit. Toughness 8, yeah, 3s to wound. Both of them wound. 4 up invulnerable saves. Make 1 fail 1. Come on, boy. And make both of them.
Oh.
Then the Stormbolter came up and failed to wound the Immortals as well. Now we're going on to Hellbrute number 2, which isn't in multi-melter range, rinsing and repeating. Sorry, the multi-melter's in range, but it's not in melter range. You know, for the D6 plus 2, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, that one. Melter. Hits twice. 3s to wound. Wounds once. You're gonna come out. You command point. Okay, why not? Why not?
No.
Wounds just the once, 4 plus invulnerable save. And I fail that one. That would be D6 damage. It's only got 6 wounds. I'm saying there's a chance. And that's a 6. That's a dead Annihilation Barge, which deadly demises on a 6. And that's a 6. It blows up and hurts the barge nearby. However, when they did the demise, only do 1 wound to the one next to it. The small arms again failed to hurt any of the Immortals. But yeah, this barge is there, staring at a Hellbrute, which no doubt is going to charge at some point. We still have some firepower from the Forge Fiend. So the Forge Fiend is going to shoot at the Lockhurst Destroyers. Now they've stuck their head around the side of the building. 3d3 shots, and adding 3 to this, because a blast hits on 3s. Strength 10, but I'm toughness 6, so it does win on 3s. 6 come through at AP3, but there's a lot of cover in the way, so 5s. 4 of them get wiped out. After those 6 destroyers died, then all the Flappy Boys with wings fired in as well. No more wounds put on the destroyers, but the Immortals have been wiped out. And that's the end of the shooting phase for the Thousand Suns. They're pushing hard round this flank, and there will be some charges coming up. But at the end of the shooting phase, my Lockhurst Lord will activate his once per battle Resorb and put 5 wounds back into the squad. That'll put 2 destroyers back in. One of them on full wounds, one of them on 2 wounds. Then we're going to have some charges. Terminators charging this Lockhurst Destroyer here. Terminators charging 1 lonely warrior over there to get onto that objective. And we also have a Hellbrute charging Annihilation Barge. The Tree Brute / Hellbrute. That's an 8. He'll definitely make it in there. So Crump the Hellbrute gets there, the Terminators engage the Warriors, and the Terminators engage the Lockhurst Destroyer Lord. Lockhurst Heavy Destroyer. I don't have any CP to interrupt. I've been spending them like toffee. So now we fight. What I'm going to do, save everyone I'm going to pick up that Lonely Warrior. I know he's tough as nails, but he ain't that tough. The Heavy Destroyer, though, can he withstand the attacks from the Terminators? 6 Coppish Swords. Goes schnicky schnicky. 4 hits. 3 hits. Strength 5, you need 5s to wound. 1 wound. AP 1, 4 up save. He's alive. And then the Sorcerer.
Force weapon, 4 attacks.
Hits 3 times. Strength 6 versus toughness 6. We have 1 wound. AP 1, I need a 4. He's alive. The Terminators do nothing to the Heavy Destroyer? Okay. What about the Tree Brute? It hits on 3s. And wounds on 3s. And we have 3 wounds. 3 4-up saves. I failed 2 of them. That's 6 damage. It's dead. And it doesn't deadly demise. It just crumples. And both of the Annihilation Barges have gone, and that allows the Tree Brute to come crumbling down onto this objective and take another one off of me, which means the Thousand Suns are on 4 objectives at the end of turn 4. Now the Destroyer fights back. He hits twice. Can he wound? He can wound. He wounds twice. 2-up saves. They're alive. Heavy Destroyer trying there. That's the end of the fight phase. And then looking across the table, 1 objective, 2 objective with the Forge Fiend, 3 with the Hellbrute, 4 with the Hellbrute, 5 with the Not Plague Marines, and 6 with the Cultists. You're on every single objective. This is going to be a lot of points. Starting with the Cultists. How many wounds? How many points? That's 3. Now this objective. How many for this one? That's worth 1. Brute number 1 in my deployment zone. That's worth 3. How many wounds is he on? He's on 4, so he's down to 1 remaining. Tree Brute number 2.
Or is that this one?
And that's another 3. Forge Fiend. That's another 3. Every single turn he's got your 3 points, and every single turn he's lost 3 wounds. He's down to 3 remaining, but he is scoring. And now the Terminators. And they get 2. Adding up all the stuff and things, that puts the Thousand Suns up to 30 points to my 12. But it's not all over, because this Tree Brute here, holding on to the central objective, has only got 2 wounds. This one, down in my deployment zone, only got 1 wound. Your Sorcerer, and there's the last Rubricae there on 1 wound. There's a lot of very weak Thousand Suns units that are pushed really hard to take all these objectives off the Shattered Dynasty. So let's find out how the Necrons respond in turn 3. So over here I need the Heavy Destroyer not to die to keep those Terminators locked up. But he's not vehicle. Can't shoot out of combat and into that Hellbrute there on 2 wounds. Not that I'd hit and wound it anyway with that Heavy Destroyer. He's useless. I have moved forward this unit of Destroyers after reanimating another fella back in with a wound. I think I'll OC the Terminators off. I should be able to kill them just in time for the Demon Prince to jump over and kill them back again. And down here, things are looking very busy because there's 3 objectives and I want to take them all. The idea is kill Hellbrute on 1 wound. Job's a good one. And then over here, I've moved after reanimating a couple of warriors, but I can't move, shoot, move because I want to charge. I want to shoot 1 unit, kill it, charge another unit, kill it with warriors. And I advance the Heavy Destroyer down to get some OC on that objective, just in case this goes horribly wrong. So let's start here, pouring everything into the Terminators from the Destroyers. On 2s, rerolling 1s. Here we are for the rerolls. Those are lethals. These need 4s. This isn't going to cut it. 4-up saves. Kills 2 of them. The whole unit are not wiped out, but at least I OC them off of that objective. Let's come all the way over here to the Warriors, who are going to split fire. Yeah, they're going to split fire. I need both of these units dead. So we'll put half of the shots into Cultists, half of the shots into Rubricae. So we've got 14 shots going into Cultists. Those are lethal and these will kill on 3s. And that's the Cultist wiped out. Then the other 14 going into the remaining Rubikai 3s. 6s are lethal, and these are 4s. 4 saves. That's 2 wounds. And because he's an Exalted Sorcerer on a disc, he's still got 4 wounds remaining. Then the Chronomancer Stave has 6 shots, which will hit on 3s. 5 of them hit. We'll wound on 3s. We have 2 wounds. 2 more 4-up saves. He takes another wound. Down to 3 left. Then you spend a Cabal point to re-roll that, so he's back on 4. Now, this gives me an interesting decision to make. Because I've shot these guys, I can move on to that objective and not charge him. Because move, shoot, move is a thing. Or I could charge him and get there anyway. Because these guys... I'm going to charge him. I'm definitely going to charge him. With a strat, I might actually be able to kill him in close combat. Yes. So, because if the Plasmancer fires in and kills him, then I can't charge him and I don't get on that objective. We have to move, shoot, move. So we've moved, shoot, move. So we're on both of the objectives. Now we do the Plasmancer shooting. He hits on 4s and he hits all the times. And he is strength 7 with his prismatic staff. And he wounds all the times as well at -3, 2 damage a time. This might do it anyway. You have 4 up and vulnerable saves.
Yes.
Yes. It does do it. It wipes him out. So he's not dead, because then you spent a CP to turn the damage to 0. One of the damages to 0, so he's still on 2 wounds.
So
he's
before
still there.
I did
Cabal first time.
For a reroll. This is a 1 CP stratagem destined by fate. Just turn 1 to 0.
Okay. So he's alive on top of these 2 objectives. I've got the objectives anyway, that's the important thing, but he's going to be trouble. Now we're going to put loads of destroyers on a Hellbrute on 1 wound remaining. And a chunk of dice rolls later, Hellbrute's dead. That's the end of the shooting phase. I am on 4 objectives. This sorcerer down here is a problem. So let's charge him with a Plasmancer. This is going to be one hell of a charge. Is he 9 away? Nope, he's 10 away. That's a failed charge. Not CP re-rolling this. Then we come over here to the Terminators, trying to hack down this heavy destroyer. 6 attacks with the Kopeshes on 3s. But 5s to wound. 2 wounds come through at AP 1 and make the saves. Stick. Hits 3 times. 4s to wound. 1 wound. -1. I failed that save. It does D3 damage for 2 damage. The Lockhurst Destroyer is down to 2 wounds remaining and he strikes back. Hits once. Doesn't wound. And that's the end of all the things, and it's 30 points to 12, so I need these objectives to be big money. Starting off with the Lockhurst Destroyers here. That is 3 mortal wounds, which will also kill a Terminator. How about these destroyers down here? That's 2. The Warriors next to your Sorcerer on 2 wounds remaining. This will be interesting, won't it? That's 3 mortal wounds. You did everything you could to try and keep him alive, but he dies in the Claymore explosion in the street. Now, does my Plasmancer get it? Yeah, he does. And at the end of all of that, I've cleared out the Thousand Suns from this side of the street, getting rid of one of the Hellbrutes as well. I mean, this one can't really come charging off of there now. Otherwise, no points from explosions and things. It's 22 points to 30. The Thousand Suns are still winning by 8 points, however. And they have this side of the battle grid, the central street. So while the Terminators battle this heavy destroyer down here, we have some movements on this side of the battle grid because there's no Thousand Suns over there. The Demon Prince is coming out to punish these destroyers here. The Flappy Dudes, the Zangor Enlightens, jump down to take the central objective because the Hellbrute's had enough. And he's going to come barreling down the street. And in between the Forge Fiends shooting at these Lockhurst Destroyers and the Demon Prince charging those Lockhurst Destroyers, I might not have very many things left for the Necrons. The Thousand Suns have 5 Cabal points to play with, but not using them right now. Keeping them in the pocket because there's a 2 Cabal point thing for rerolls, free rerolls, like CP rerolls. So keeping them in the pocket for now to tempt Tzeentch with some stuff in a minute as we go on to the shooting phase. So we're wrapping up the shooting phase with the Forge Fiend firing all the way down here. 3d3 plus blast. for the number of shots. Adding 3 to this, hitting on 3s. And wounds on 3s. 6 up saves. So 4 of the destroyers get wiped out, leaving just 1 with the Lord, which meant that the Hellbrute was just out of range. So fired some shots in at the Warriors. Missed the Warriors. So now we're on to Flappy Dudes. Flappy Dudes, Angor Enlightens, shooting down here. Hitting on 3s, 6s lethal. Had 1 lethal, the rest wound on 5s. 3 come through in total. I need 3 and the precision, all on the Lord. So he takes 4 wounds. He's still alive. The Lord is down to 2 wounds remaining, and then we did the rest of all the shots, smashing into the second unit of Lockhurst destroyers. And there's 3 left. 1's on a wound. At the end of all of that, I haven't done my Resorb yet from this fella. I did it on the other fella. So he's going to do his Resorb and put 2 wounds back in there. See, the thing is, you put precision on him. I could put wounds back in on him, or I could put another guy back in on 2 wounds. 1 minute. You can't do that. You have to recover all your wounds first. So I don't even get a guy back. But at least the Lord's back up to 4 wounds remaining. Anyway, we've got some charges. Demon Prince and the Sorcerer. I'm going to charge the Lockhurst destroyers. At the end of the charge phase, they make it here. And finally, the Demon Prince gets to whet her blade. She's been swinging it for some time now, and it is turn 4. And she is very pretty. I don't think these destroyers are long for this world. And you hit on 2s. Wounding on 3s. 4 come through at AP2. 4 5 up saves. So she only kills 2 in the end. And the Sorcerer decides to stay on that objective, and that's it for charging units. So we're going to come here for my Destroyer. My Destroyer is definitely going to kill this Terminator on 1 wound remaining. I don't do a wound. It's definitely not going to kill this Terminator on 1 wound remaining. So you're fighting the Destroyer thing, yes, and that is 3 hits, and that's the Sorcerer, that's sustained.
1, yeah.
Yeah. Wounding on 4s, and 1 wound, 1 4-up save. I fail it. It's D3 damage. What's that? I can't see it.
That's a Keeper of Frosting.
So that's a 3 damage. That kills the Heavy Destroyer. He's wiped out. At the end of Thousand Suns turn 4, I've got some units floating around this side of the battle grid. But Forces of Chaos are dominating the central areas with the Forge Fiend, with the Flappy Dudes, and over here. But how many points are each of these objectives worth? Forge Fiend.
Yeah.
That's 3, and that kills him. He's had 3 a turn, 3 a turn, 3 a turn, taking 3 points and 3 wounds. It's a glorious thing. In the end, I didn't put any wounds on that Forge Fiend, just you. You racked up 12 points with it. Right, the central objective. That blows up 3 inches and does 3 mortal wounds as well. How far did the Hellbrute manage to get? He's 3.5 inches away. He's fine, but one of his Angled Enlightens got blown up. And then over here, Demon Prince and Sorcerer are holding down this one. And they take 2 points. So the Demon Prince is down to 8 wounds remaining. That Sorcerer's only on a wound. The Hellbrute only on 2 wounds. The Forge Fiend has gone. Been absolutely brutal. It's 38 points to 22. So on a Necron turn 4. So here we are after the shocking of the battles. I'm good. I am 16 points behind though. And because of shocking in the battles and reanimation, I was able to put a destroyer back in this unit here. Fly keyword, move over. And I'm OCing you off of this objective. I mean, if I stayed in close combat, they're dead anyway. So at least this way it will get me some points. And let's face it, when it blows up, that Sorcerer's dead. He's only on 1. Over here, I'm scoring this objective. And that Hellbrute's on 2 wounds remaining. And then over here, the Heavy Destroyer and the Warriors are scoring these objectives. And the Heavy Destroyer, after moving it, can't even see the Hellbrute. Because there's a bridge in the way. I guess his big, massive, strength 6 gun is going to shoot at a Zangor. Let's see if a Heavy Destroyer can actually kill something this game. That's a hit and an auto wound. That's a 5-up invulnerable save. And no, the Hellbrute can't kill anything. They're absolutely fine. Heavy Destroyer. Heavy Destroyer can't kill anything, including a Hellbrute. Normal Destroyers shooting at Hellbrute. This will work. This will work. I'm hitting on. That's really good. They all auto wound, and 5 wounds. 5 4-up saves on Tree Brute, and that's a dead Tree Brute. That was 4 damage. Yeah, even the CP wouldn't help you there, and that's the end of my turn. There's no charges. That fell back, so they can't shoot. Yeah, that's the end of my turn. Let's roll for these objectives. It occurs to me that I should have moved the warriors away from this objective, because when they blow up, they're really scary. Anyway, let's start with this one, with the heavy destroyer. That's 2 points. And a 2-inch explosion. Does it hit the warriors? I'll figure out in a minute. Over here with the other warriors. That is 2 points. It doesn't hit the warriors. It doesn't hit the warriors. We're good. Over here, the Lockhurst destroyers. That's 3 points. And the other unit of Lockhurst destroyers are locked up with the demon. And that's 2 points. And that'll kill the sorcerer as well. Adding up all the points and things, that makes it 31 points to 38. The Thousand Suns are winning by 7 points. But they've got the Flappy Boys, the Zangor Enlightened, and this demon left. And that's it as we're going into turn 5. I forgot about the Terminators. In the movement phase, the Terminators moved along here, so they can shoot right along the back edge with the Hellfire missile rack into my destroyers. Demon Prince is coming in for round 2 into these destroyers. And then over here, the Zangor Enlightened, these models are holding that objective, and these models are holding that objective. So the Thousand Suns are currently holding 3 objectives, and the Zangor Enlightened are firing their magic bows down the street one more time. Only if you're in range can they hit.
4s becomes 3s for the shaman.
Yes. 5s to wound. We have a wound. 1 wound at -2. He dead. The one that I reanimated, well, he dead. My lord's on 6 wounds. Now the Hail Mary 2 shots from the Hellfire missile rack into the lord, who rudely reanimated all of his wounds. And he hits once. CP reroll, that's 2 hits. And 3's to wound. That is 1 wound. 4 up and Vun. I failed my 4 up and vulnerable save. I'd really like to keep him alive. CP. I failed my 4 up and vulnerable save. If you roll a 6 on the damage, you'll kill him. Who the what now?
It's damage 3.
You needed both.
I know.
Oh no. Then they fired the rest of their dagger into the remaining Lockhurst destroyers, and the Demon Prince went in and polished them off. And the Thousand Suns control this battlefield. They control this side of the battlefield, and all I've got left is Lockhurst Destroyer Lord, these fellas round here, and the Thousand Suns are on 3 objectives. How many points for this objective? Kaboom, it's worth 1 and a point. How many points for that objective back there? Kaboom, it's worth 3 points. And how many points for the Demon Prince finally taking this objective? And that one's worth 1 point as well. So that makes it 43 points to 31 in favour of the Thousand Suns. They're winning by 12 points. And even if my little Lockhurst Lord decides to get on that objective here, and these fellas lock down these objectives here, and they're worth max points, even if I get the 9, the Thousand Suns would still win 43 points to 40. So at this point, the Necrons are going to disappear through a trans-dimensional gateway. They've got what they came for. But let's roll the objectives to see what the final score was anyway. One of them, oh, that's really cocked, look. That one is 1, that one is 3, and the one with the Lord is 3. That would have made it 43 to 38 if I'd have stayed around. But I'm not. I'm disappearing through a trans-dimensional gateway. The Necrons have come for what they came for. We've had enough of all this magical shenanigans. We've decided to disappear and concede this game of Murder Bowl, and this is the way the world ends. Dude, looking over my shoulder there, the kill pile on both sides is epic. I think we both lost 80 or 90% of our forces. You barely got anything left. But you pushed the Necrons back and back and back, and you were completely aggressive all the time. I think that's the way to play Murder Bowl. Any men of the match, any particular moments that stand out for you?
I really enjoyed all the March of the Ants, the Hell Brutes, and the Vortex Beasts.
Just down the centre.
They were great players, but I think my favourite unit of the game was the Forge Beast.
It was the Forge Beast.
It was just so reliable.
It's
His firepower was really good. Nothing hugely outstanding, but just very nice and
yeah.
very reliable. It did really well at chewing through the...
Got you lots of points as well.
Yeah, just 3 points every turn.
Decided to stand on top of C4 for round after round after round.
He knew what he wanted to do and he did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Really well.
Well, I want to say thank you for coming down. Thank you especially for coming down, and thank you to VC Firefly as well for being a carer. You know, I have a carer. She's called my wife. She looks after me too. But thank you so much for coming down. Your army is absolutely gorgeous. Don't forget to check out Winter Wizard on the YouTubes for all the histories and all the painting stuff of this stuff. Hope you enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.